Just responding to some colleagues who have not got this thing. That's okay. Please, we'll take 2 minutes. Just inform your colleagues that this thing remains same. But Menon mantras change nahi kar raha hu main, because I realize every time I can't give you a link. So this is, as Antoji said, this is going to remain the same for all my classes. Okay. Okay, we are good to go. So it's a session on personal finance, and we will like to talk to you all about personal finance. So we're trying to build a stronger balance sheet for personal finance. Okay, so that's what we realized, and right, as per my computer, there's 1 minute to go, but we'll slowly start. Okay. Hi, Gani. Hi, Nareshji. Good morning, Parth. God bless you. Personal finance file. Excuse me, personal finance PPT. Okay, so we start with the share screen. Yeah, there is a solar eclipse, I agree. Right, it's visible in Mumbai, possibly. I don't know that, but I haven't checked it. Possibly after this session, but I don't know if it's good for the eyes and all that. Okay, so let's start. So today we'll be discussing personal finance. Dear colleagues, very, very important to understand what we are discussing. Again, as always, thank you, sir, for whatever you are. Right, thank you. Our videos are getting uploaded very fast, thanks to a gentleman by the name of Rahul Ji, who is doing amazing work, right, and who was introduced to me by Sandeep Ji, who is an FMB 8 colleague. So Rahul Ji, sincere thanks, because every second day we are doing videos, you are uploading it, and I owe it to you, sir. And of course, Sandeep Ji, Shanti Madam, and dear Anto, who has come in and stepped in for Shanti Ma'am today. Thank you. Right, today the knowledge partners are very simple. Abhay Ji, who is part of my team, and of course, the financial wellness plan guru, Harish sir, is there with us. Amazing to see the way he guides people on financial wellness. Very important. Why am I doing this? It's very simple. I'm requesting you all to donate for a cause. I've been saying this for some time now. Kindly help me reach out to these people. Very important to do our social part of life today. My sponsors, Vismay, thank you very much. Sunanda, Hiranya, the dear Shah family, they refused to give me the name of their product, so I decided to post this picture. In fact, they didn't want me to do anything about themselves, but I still insisted that I took this photograph. Saurabh Agarwal, his agro venture, love you bache, grow it and you will keep growing. Speedo Communications, the wonderful combination of Parsis and the Pai brothers. Very important, SS Techno, right, Prasad and his lovely family, the Katav families. Today's big sponsor is Hertech. All of you all will be surprised. Yeah, Hertech is a sponsor for today. Love him. Amazing boy. You can see how much value Simmer has brought into all of us lives. He is a power by himself. He's a power engine by himself. When I take his name itself, I feel energized, because last 60 days he has transformed my life. And he is inspired by, right, his dad and his mother. I've been told that it was his mother's birthday yesterday, Krishna? Yesterday. So, ma'am, if you are watching, many, many happy returns of the day, belated. I'm not on Facebook, not very active on Facebook, but my son has just told me, right? Hertech has been wonderful. This is his wonderful family. wonderful family, Hartek family, Simmer's family, my Simmer, right there. So grandmother, Simmer gave me this photograph saying that I want my grandmother to be there in that photograph. Father's first generation entrepreneur, Hartek Singh is his father. Kirti Singh, wonderful lady, supports the Hartek group in HR activities. She is holding the group together, right, in their business ventures. Chief emotional officer is what I call these people. They hold the business together. And Anjay ji also has given me that the family bonds together very well. Any family which bonds together will see success. Komal Singh, his wife, this was the photograph which was taken when she was got into a house for the first time. Right, sister, she's doing extremely well. If I'm not wrong, she was with Chicago Business School studying under Professor Rajan. All of us know who Mr. Rajan is. Maxpreet Singh, his dog, right? So he's given a name to his dog also. Siva does everything with emotions, and that's why he's a very successful businessman also, right? And then of course Simarpreet Singh, the person who has transformed many lives. He doesn't speak much about himself, but it's a very big group today. They have come from nothing to being the top 5. If I'm not wrong, they're number 3 now, right? Producers of energy. And why I say he does everything differently is that when I asked for sponsorship, this is the amount he paid us. He gave straight to Hunger Collective. He said, I want to give back to society. Right? With students like him, what do I say? I can only say, God bless you and God bless your family. Thank you for supporting this venture. I again request all of you all, please donate to Collective Hunger if you can. If you've already done it, thank you very much. If you have not done it, your choice, right? If you want to be a sponsor, welcome. I would rather have you. Today's personal finance session. Why financial planning? I've been doing this theme regularly and I hope everybody has benefited by it. I'm going to upload this also for those who miss it, and I can see a lot of traction on the videos which has been uploaded. Again, I want to thank Rahul ji for that, because the way he does it, last video already aa bhi gaya, tier 2 cities ka, and this takes time. This takes real time. And by the way, I also want to confess that Rahul ji does not take a single penny from me. So I keep insisting. He says, no, you are doing a social cause, I'll help you. Thank you again. This will be uploaded very soon. So we discussed about financial planning. So it is best to come on the platform, because then I can answer your questions. I'm very clear about that. If you miss it because of exigencies, watch videos. But always better to come on the platform, because then I can answer questions. Manan Mantras, if you see, I've been answering every single question, even before I have dinner. So today, Harish sir also will do the same thing. So do you want to create wealth for yourself, protect your family, your goals, dreams? If you're an employee, everybody has a dream. I also have a dream, right? Lifestyle is changing. You may move up the ladder, or as Mujib ji said, move down the ladder. So Mujib ji decided to give up everything and he's happy. Changing lifestyle need not mean only upwards. It can be downwards also, but content. Okay. Yes, you want to minimize tax liability, which is very, very important, right? In India, you need to do tax planning the legal way. The HUF, I'm going to discuss all this in subsequent Sundays. The HUF way, into the undivided family way, the tax planning. All of you have used Section 80. See, I'm not sure you've used the NPS and the other sections. I'll take a session on that. We can invite Harish sir, right? Or, right, you need to understand this is what I'm saying and apply it, okay? To protect your family from financial uncertainties. I've been saying this. This is extremely important. I got the best feedback just now from a dear colleague I have never met in my life, but now we are friends. Real good friends. Deepak ji says something which is so very good. He says that, so this is the best thing you can do in these challenging times, impart knowledge. And I again request all of you all to please look at your personal finance also. Corporate finance, I'll do my job, but personal finance, please sit down with your family members for this session. That's why I'm taking it on Sunday. Right, because everybody is busy, I understand. But for this session, sit with your family members. Personal balance sheet should be as strong as possible. Right? How safe is my job? People are losing jobs. Investments are down. Debt markets are really bad. Everything is in a bad shape. But still, you should plan your activities, which is very, very important. That's where you come in with what is called as smart financial goals. I've said this earlier. This slide is an addition. Extremely critical to do it in today's times, because everything is right. You see, you are sailing in a ship which is in choppy waters. You need to ensure that the ship does not go down, the ship does not sink, right? That's why planning is important. Having smart goals is important. specific, be measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Extremely important to have specific goals, smart goals. So don't say, I want to have a vacation. Boss, measure it. How much money will go in that? Attainable. I personally think that you should set targets, which should be a stretch budget. Stretch a bit, not too much. Stretch a bit. It always helps. Realistic, right? So if you believe that I would get on to a goal like I should have 1,000 crores, I would never ever think about that. I know it's unrealistic. Second, it is not a goal I aspire for. But if you have that goal of being an owner of a 5,000 crore company, as Deepak ji says, then you have to have a route. Simple. Time bound. By when? All of us have limited lifespans. So please measure it with a time span. This is where you need to have this entire plan going. My specialist is already here. He will speak a lot today, right? And then I'll give you the Menon mantras. Set a goal, prepare an investment plan, implement a financial plan, and evaluate. This is where an expert comes in, because you may not be able to prepare an investment plan, or if you are able to do it, best. You can read and do it, but I don't know if you have the time. Then implement it, and most importantly, evaluate. I personally have gone on record saying I made mistakes on evaluation, because when assumptions change, I can't blame my financial advisor. When assumptions change, when market conditions change, there will be losses. As I keep telling my wife, it is our responsibility to evaluate. If you can't do it, outsource it. And if you are a financial expert, you have taken mandate for others, it is your duty to evaluate and keep telling the clients, which is one problem in India. Once the deal is done, they leave you all and then go. That's wrong. If you have taken clients' money, if you have sold a commission-based product, you need to go back and advise him. Very sad thing that's happened in my own family case. I'm not going to name that colleague. He's not a student. So there was a medical policy which my father and mother had taken long back. Now, this gentleman did not inform my parents that it was due for renewal. I'm not blaming him alone. We are also, I am responsible as a son. My father forgot. He's a super serious citizen. And I remembered suddenly. And I asked, Uska kya hua? Now the entire result is that policy is no longer valid because we missed the date. That's one. I failed as a duty as a son. I agree. I told my wife, let's put right dates. That's why I'm saying sit with your family members. Put down dates so that there are reminders which come in. Arey, term policy diya kya? Medical insurance hua kya? Aapse nahi hoga. Aap bahut busy ho. I respect. Somebody will chase you. Na, aap khana kha rahe to koi yaad karega. Arey, kal 2 दिन के बाद policy का premium भरना है. Second, if you are an investment advisor, my appeal through this platform very calmly is, first, please keep customer interest in mind. You can't say, I got my commission, so I don't need to give customer advice. That's wrong. Completely wrong. Of course, I didn't pick up the phone and call my dad's investment advisor, but I just thought in my mind, yeah, this guy has been with my dad for so many years and he didn't inform my dad. And but the sad thing is, being a super senior citizen, I'm not getting policies now, but I somehow managed it. Right? I somehow manage it to a route, which we can discuss later. So again, a request, if you can't do it, get people who can do it for you. Whether it is employees or family members, do it for you. Especially family comes in when you have personal goals, Okay, even if you appoint an advisor, get the family involved is the answer, is the Menon mantra. Wow, what a slide. This is a slide that people use it to bring you into equity markets. So this was 2018, a wonderful thing. For those who are uninitiated, market cap means number of shares into market price. Market cap basically means number of shares into market price. So market price keeps going up, market cap increases. So Apple in 2018, the market price had gone up so significantly that the market price went up, so market cap went up, and Apple's market cap was greater than all the GDP of several countries. So you had all these investment advisors used to come and say, you know what, look at this. If you would have selected Apple as an investment, look where you would have been. You say, where would have been? Apple, look at it. Its GDP, its market cap is greater than GDP of most countries. And then, you know, you put it, oh, look at this. It's more than Switzerland. It's more than Saudi Arabia. It's more than Netherlands. It's more than Indonesia. It's more than Mexico. So now you say, wow, what is to be done next? They'll say, invest in equity. Come on, invest in equity. Buy the next Apple. And then they sell you a lemon. Buy the next Apple and then they sell you a lemon. Why? Look at what is happening in our This is the joke of the day. Harish sir, can I get you on board? I want to see that smile on your face. This is happening in our markets today.
I cannot switch on my camera, sir.
No problem, sir. Right? The top gainers on National Stock Exchange. Now, what are these? These are pretty penny stocks here. And this is a classic forward which came to me. Amir Khan is saying, Shabash Kachra, Shabash. So Kachra stocks upar ja raha hai, yaar. What has changed in Vodafone Idea? Nobody knows. What has changed in, this is a big story there in this soya company, which I'll show you. This has come on Twitter. Management has changed. But boss, please understand, look at this. There's this guy who has written something beautiful. Abhishek Agarwal, I don't know him, but I got this forward. He's a young guy, yeah? He's an assistant manager at Thomson Reuters, and he is pointing out something for all of us. He's saying, boss, kya ho kya raha hai markets mein? Abhi, for example, Ruchi Soya has gone up from 17 rupees to 1190 rupees. 17 rupees se 1100 rupees tak gaya, 1200 rupees tak gaya. And then this boy writes out, stay away from the stock. Why? We were scared. Now, if you go and ask something, ki Ruchi Soya kyun upar gaya, Indore-based company hai, kya upar gaya? Wo log bolenge, Patanjali has acquired stake in this company. Hey, Baba, smart Baba has acquired stake. But that does it mean that 17 se 1200 ho jayega? Is it the next Apple? Do you understand SEBI norms? Yeah, must it? Yeah, this boy has written. Do you understand SEBI norms? SEBI norms say that maximum promoter holding cannot exceed 75%. Any kid in investment banking will tell you this. Any kid, बच्चा है ना investment banking में वो बताएगा आपको. I was taught this when I entered SBI Caps. Maximum promoter holding is 75%. Now, Patanjali has acquired 99% in this company. Common sense, hai na? That extra 24% they will sell sometime. What will happen to the stock price? And this boy has written very well. He has taken on SEBI. He's saying, boss, is somebody looking at this? This is not, I don't even know these guys, but I'm happy they're spreading financial literacy. If you still believe Ruchi Soya is a great stock, buy it. I don't think after this analysis, I don't think. Maybe it was at 30 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, but at 1200 rupees, it's a good buy because you believe it is going to be the next Apple. Give me a break. Understand investments from within. Understand where you're going. Look at these companies. I should not go on record saying this, but I'll go on record now. I have payment dues from Vodafone Idea. And a wonderful company. One of the best in India. Yes, the people are the best. I love working for them. I told my wife, forget it. I love the people. They follow systems. They go by their systems. But will I invest in Vodafone Idea? I will think back. Because they have been rogered here by Jio. They have been rogered by Jio. What's the news coming in? Some XYZ company is investing in Vodafone Idea. It's up 111%. If you have an inheritance, your grandfather has worked very hard and left you with a lot of money, and then you want to speculate, kachra stocks hai, speculate karo. Then your grandchildren will remember you either for being a big shot in gambling or for destroying family wealth. The choice is yours, is what I keep saying. Have risk capital. Maybe one of you will say, 1-2 crore se kya farak padta hai? Then you go ahead. Mere se mujhe bahut farak padta hai, 1-2 crore. That's why if you need to get into a market, read, understand. Not every stock is going to be the next Apple. Okay, I will take a pause here and I will invite, because that's my recommendation. But before I get into that recommendation, this is a wonderful colleague. I don't know Mr. Abhishek Agarwal. I thank him for this wonderful message that he is trying to inform. One thing that is lacking in Indian people is literacy, especially financial literacy. They think finance is difficult. The moment I gave you numbers, you realize, my God, yeah. Otherwise, you would have gone and purchased the stock because Smart Baba is buying it. And Smart Baba, somebody would tell you, is supported by a political party. What crap, yeah. But does it mean that it will go to 1200? I'll leave it to you all. I'll take a pause here. My colleague has come in. Oh, Avinash Kabraji, I love you. Right, here it is. Lovely word he has used. Punter stock. Very good, sir. I love you, sir. Right, Avinash, absolutely right. Right, Amit, I think the audio is on. Right, you can hear me, I hope. Right. Yes, I will now invite my colleague we are not related to each other, but I have very high respects for him. Comparatively younger to me, but very, very good in financial planning. He has decided that will be his core competency. Yes, we have done joint sessions together twice. I have invited him for the third time because this time we're talking about scientific financial planning. Over to you, CA Harish sir. God bless you for this, taking time out for us. Back to you, sir. Harish sir, over to you.
Hi, sir. I don't have the option of sharing my screen or starting my camera.
So can I take, can you just watch, that's okay, sir. Menon Mantras is our own. Can you just WhatsApp me or, yeah, you have mailed me your slides. So I will do it for you, sir.
No. I have changed a lot.
So you want me to show you original slides?
I've modified it a lot, so I'll have to send you again.
Please send it again, no problem. How does it matter? I got one at 11:17. Is that the one?
No.
Please send it, no problem. Please take your time. Sir, in this platform, there is no time limitation. I will wait till the last question is answered right from day one. So you could please take your time. I will continue. Okay, sir, just watch out for sir's mail, and when it comes, just let me know. Harish sir, you can take your time because I will continue. I have got a lot of things to share for this lovely audience.
No, so I've now got the
Sir, I
audience.
just gave you your permission. I just added you to the panelists. You can just share the screen now and also switch on the video. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there is Harish sir. Wow.
Now
Okay.
I've got the option. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Always my pleasure, sir.
So I'll share my screen.
Thank you, Anto. Thank you very much. So, dear Anto has stepped in for Shanti Madam today. He's helping me. He is an IT professional and he's helping us in this. Thank you very much, Anto ji.
Welcome, sir. My pleasure.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, yes. And I
Yes,
will
sir.
mute myself now.
Good morning to all dear participants, dear colleagues. Always a pleasure to be with Anil Menon sir and share whatever little I know about the financial markets and asset allocation. As Anil sir said, I have taken sessions previously also in our tech forum also and on the Menon Mantras forum. It's an awesome job that Anil sir is doing for social causes. What I thought was to ensure there is not much of repetition from my last sessions. So I'll be focusing on asset allocation as a theme. The idea of this session is to try and make it as simple for everybody to do it yourself. But I must start with some disclaimers. I'm registered with SEBI. So SEBI wants me to say certain things on public platforms. First is, none of the things that I'm saying is necessarily a recommendation for anybody specifically. Even if you are implementing whatever I'm saying, it will be at your own risk. I do not recommend anything what I am talking about necessarily for you. You may be joking, you may be laughing at me, but that's the fact. I mean, the financial planning part is not same for everybody. Your plan may not be same as somebody else's plan. It is always very different. So I need to be very, very clear about the fact that it is not random advice I'm giving out. So be a little careful if you're trying to implement it. As Anil sir said, you have to learn a lot if you're trying to do it yourself. I'll give you a couple of suggestions for that also. Anil sir, how much time do I have? Okay.
Time
Cool.
restrictions on Menon Mantras. I have my lunch on Sundays after answering every question. Sir, and you have to ensure that every question is answered because somebody as senior as Dr. Vinod Nair has joined from Cochin. A real estate boy, Yogesh has joined from Pune. Gani has joined from California. So, sir, please share knowledge. No time restriction.
Thank you, sir. So I'll take all the questions at the end, Anil sir, with your
Yeah, yeah.
permission. I'll just go through the slides. So I've taken some of these statements from one of the first books I ever read in my life, which is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sure many of you have read that, Stephen Covey. So he has mentioned certain points and I thought I'll use some of those. First is put first things first. Anil sir also mentioned some of these points. I will go through it. Any questions you have at the end, I'll be very happy to answer them. First is you should know where you are standing. So make a financial position statement. There is no format. You just need to know yourself very well. Your family numbers have to be very well known to you. A lot of clients, sometimes when they come to me, they have not really collated everything that they have at that point in time. So I ask them to do it at the first thing. know all your assets, know how much is your FDs, know how much is your mutual funds current value, know how many stocks are you holding, know all your real estate details, etc. Also, obviously, know all your liabilities. Ensure you know all your payables, short term, long term, everything. That will kind of give you a one shot summary of where you stand, because that's the starting point. You should know where you're standing at this point. So, assets and liabilities will be very useful. Once you know all your assets and liability, the first thing that I always try and tell a client or even a well wisher is try and knock off certain surplus assets to pay off some costly loans. So if you're an individual having a personal loan at 16%, for example, and you also have FDs with you, which is at 6%, and you don't have any specific use of that FD at this point in time, the first thing I think a common sense approach will be use the 6% FD to knock off your 16% personal loan. Straight away, you will have your 10% savings knocked off. Same way, if you have some 12% loans which you have taken as loan against credit card, or you converted some credit card spend into EMI, and Anil sir explained the other day, it is never zero cost EMI. There is always an associated cost with it. You can use some of your surplus like bank balance and liquid funds and mutual and FDs to knock off those costly loans. I don't put housing loan as a costly loan. These days, you will be able to get a home loan at something like 7.5% or get converted existing loan into 7.5%. Anil sir, I think in the Telegram group of Menon Mantras, 90% of the questions are specifically to loans, and he has spent a lot of time about how you can convert loans into repo link loans. So, not housing loan, but you may have personal loan, credit cards, repay that. That would be the first logical step you should do.
So
Next.
here, with
Sorry.
your permission, sir,
Sure.
please understand, this is all about cost of capital, right? So what sir is saying is, look at your return versus cost of capital. So if you have an FD which is giving you only 6% and you've taken a 16% loan, it's a no-brainer that you're doing something that you're adding wealth to your bank, right? And this has happened to me personally. I'll tell you how it has happened, Bide. Harish said this very interesting story. I had a housing loan from, my wife is laughing, I had a housing loan from ICICI at 11%. And right, okay, those were the days. 2003, right, my wife had taken a policy, right, Children's Dream Fund from ICICI itself, which gave me 8%. So I had a policy which gave me 8% and I had taken a loan at 11%, right? So now I can go back and argue with my wife saying that calculating for tax, housing loan, there is beneficial, but she's equally smart. She comes back saying, boss, that 8% that you got, that is also taxable. So please understand, it's a very simple logic. Look at your assets and liabilities together. Whether it's corporate finance or personal finance, look at it together. Wonderful start, sir. Please continue.
Thank you, sir. Next step, and I'm not saying it because we are going through challenging times of COVID. In general, also, the first step towards financial planning is creating emergency funds. Now, again, there is no one thumb rule of what is emergency fund. If you are a business person or a business family with a lot of cash flows coming in, you may probably not need any emergency fund at all. But if you are a salaried person and if your job may be probably in an uncertain way in the future, then I think you will probably need to have enough money to take care of your next 4 to 6 months of your expenses, because you may take 4 to 6 months to get another job of the same caliber. So how much should be the emergency funds? Again, is assessment you all need to do. You have to check what is your source of income, how steady is your income, is it going to sustain in the current situation? Sometimes you have to add emergency funds. Sometimes you can reduce it if the going is good. You can play around with it a little bit, but there has to be a portion of emergency funds. I've hardly found anybody in my circle who do not need emergency funds, unless you're like very, very exceptional case of absolutely steady cash flow, which is not going anywhere. Then next point is for those who have constraints about how much they're investing. Again, I understand it's a mixed audience. You may have somebody here who is extremely surplus with funds and there is no way they need to reduce their expenses. Awesome. God bless you, and I really hope that this continues. But many of us may also be in a situation where we are not able to actually save enough. And sometimes, and especially during this lockdown, you would have realized a lot of your expenses are actually avoidable. You need not spend so much that you are actually spending all these while. So make a list. This is a one-time activity to know your finances. Once a year, if you spend like a day with your family, it would be useful. I will talk about that point later. Then you are in a position to understand a very important number. And this is a very important number to start beginning your financial planning. How much can you invest? And there are three parts in which I'm dividing this. How much can you invest now? Immediately, how much can you invest? Do you have any surplus? Do you have a savings bank balance of 6 lakhs? Do you need the savings bank balance of 6 lakhs? Can you not actually optimize that investment? How much can you invest every month? You may have a salaried income every month and you know how much you can invest. Or quarter, you may be having quarterly cash flow in your business, or annual. Some of us may be getting annual bonuses. Some of us may be getting some annual cash flow. So create buckets of how much can you invest so that you have a broad assessment of what is your savings that you can do on a regular basis. Once you have that, you can start going towards the second aspect, which is knowing where do you want to go. Begin with the end in mind. Anil sir mentioned the same point many times. Have goals. Investing without goals is, as I mentioned in my previous session, going to the airport without knowing which flight to take. You will get confused. You will have so many flights there. You will have so many things. You will get confused. So having goals is very important. Create buckets. Anil sir has mentioned and spoken about this in his previous sessions. You can see the YouTube videos of that. Create goals for knowing how you're going to achieve it. You will be able to then decide asset allocation based on that. GPS, as we call it, the goals planning system. So GPS in maps will tell you where you're going. Same way GPS in goal management also will tell you where you want to go. So first point, where are you standing now? Second point, where do you want to go? That will create a path. Now that path will not be easy. There will be fluctuation. There will be volatility. Yet you should ideally know the starting point and the ending point. If you know these two things at every given point in time, very less chances that you will deviate from your route. Otherwise, the world is a big place, right? We can get lost in that crowd. So you should know this. How much are your goals? Short term, medium term, long term. Again, Anil sir mentioned about it. Not a hard and fast definition of what is short term, what is medium term. Your definition may be different than mine. You may say short term for me is less than 1 year. I totally appreciate that. You should probably be able to do that yourself. In general, I say up to 3 years, I would define as short term. 3 to 8 years, I would define as medium term. Again, not hard and fast. If you ask me why 8, why not 10, I don't have an answer. It can be 10 also. That would not be a point in which I will debate. And long term obviously is more than 8 or 10 years. Why this classification is important is because asset classes have their own risk and return features. Equity works in a different way, debt works in a different way, gold works in a different way. So you want to ensure that you have mapping. It's like creating a cricket team. Imagine you are a selection board of Indian cricket team. How do you select an Indian cricket team? You have roles, right? You have roles. You know that you need an opener, you need a pinch hitter, you need a leg spinner, you need a fast bowler. There are roles. And then you ensure that for that slot, you will have a particular person. You can't create a portfolio of all equity. May not make sense because that may not be for your goal. So have goals. Short-term goals could be vacation. Short-term goals could be repayment of some costly loans. Short-term goals could be buying a car, a house. Medium-term goal could be a child's education. If let's say your child is 13 years old, 5-6 years down the line, higher education may come up. Medium-term goals could be marriage. Long-term goal has to include retirement. Anil sir will talk about retirement, I think. Sir, आप बात करने वाले हो?
I'll be doing it, sir.
So Anil sir will talk about retirement, and you will be surprised to know we need a lot of amount to retire peacefully to maintain existing standard of living.
Which also explains, Harisa, with your permission, why sometimes succession planning is failing in many family managed businesses. So I see an amazing link, Gani, between personal finance and corporate finance. So why does a senior not willing to give up his control? The reason lies here. He doesn't know what will happen to him emotionally and financially once he gives up the business. An employee, right, needs retirement planning as much as an owner, if you ask me. So please continue.
Right. So we don't realize sometimes that we may probably retire at 55, 60, and the life expectancy has gone up a lot, and we may probably survive till the age of 90, which means
So
you literally.
on this very note, we have decided we'll be giving you a lot of formats, right, which you can go back and apply, right? I will be doing it personally. So आज से एक format आने लगेगा starting Monday, which you can go back and start applying in your firm. And why we are doing it? Normally you pay for it. The answer is simple. You apply, your business grows, society grows. As simple as that. So please note what sir is saying is life expectancy has increased. You retired at an early age. First, how are you going to last at distance? Simple question from respected sir. Sir.
Right. So 30, 35 years with you and your spouse, assuming both of you are going to survive for that long, without really any active income. So your investment should be able to give passive income for you to sustain 30, 35 years of spending. You don't want to reduce your cost of living. You have a standard of living. You have a society where you're living in. You cannot suddenly go from a bungalow to a 1 BHK on rented flat. You can't go from a 3 BHK in Mumbai to suddenly go into a tier 2 city. You may want to do it, as Anil sir said, if you are happy doing it, but you should not be forced to do it. Mujib is a very dear colleague of mine, and Mujib took, as Anil sir said, a very conscious decision that the rat race is not for me, I will go back. But then, if you're forced to do it, you will never be happy. Happiness is the key in life,
Very
right?
well
all
said.
of us are doing this for remaining happy. If
So here
I'm-
I want to thank what Ganesh said. He took a chance and went to US, and it was painful in the first 2 or 3 years. But today he's happy. His kids are well settled in US. So it all boils down to happiness. And personally, somebody asked me that, can you discuss reverse mortgage on your platform? I said I can do it, but it will not work in India because I don't see, as of now, anybody going to a bank and saying, take my house, give me money to live monthly basis. And after that, after a period of time, right, you can take over my house. And in India, typically say, मेरा घर ना मेरे बाद मेरा wife को, मेरे wife के बाद मेरे बेटे को. Happiness is a key word, if you ask me.
So, continuing now about after you have classified your goals into various buckets, you basically will be able to go into products. Now, one question which I get a lot, and I'll address it head on at the beginning, is, does everybody need equity in their portfolio? Should all of us have equity in their portfolio? When I say equity, I can mean equity funds, equity stock. It could be a PMS. I will talk about those products in the next slide. But the answer to this simple question is no. Equity is not for all. It's like asking, should all of us eat rice every day? Not necessarily. It depends upon what is your dietary requirement. I may be very happy without rice, and some may need rice. Do you need equity in your portfolio? Is not always the case. I've had a lot of clients who sometimes have this fear of missing out. FOMO, as we call it in younger generation these days. They see markets rising. They suddenly say, oh, my portfolio is only giving 7%. I could have gone on 12%, 14%. Did I make a mistake? Did I probably miss the bus? I think you need to evaluate whether you need equity or not. How do you evaluate? Very simple logic is IRR function that Anil sir explained in the previous sessions. I will also use an Excel file at a later point today. IRR, in other words, means how much rate do you require to achieve your goal. So if it's a 5-year goal or an 8-year goal or a 10-year goal, and you know how much are you going to save for it, how much rate are you going to require to achieve that goal? If your goal can be achieved at 6%, you don't need equity. Don't try to act smart. If you can achieve your goals at 6%, why do you want to be brave? What is the objective of financial markets? Objective of financial markets is to assist our life to be stress-free and happy. Financial markets is out there. Your job is not to be the best investor ever and create the best portfolio. No. Be practical is always something which I say. Sometimes some of the goals may need a 10% rate of return. Now, a debt portfolio cannot give you 10%. That is where you will need to have equity. However, equity will not work for short-term goal. If your short-term goal after 2 years is needed, and you say that, oh, the rate of return is very high, which I am requiring, I will go for equity. No, that is a mistake. So you also have to look at whether the goal is long-term, and do you require that kind of rate of return. That is when you would want to add equity, otherwise not so. After that, if you still want to add equity, I will talk about that in the next point. The reason if you can achieve something with 6 and if you add unnecessary equity, there can be drawdown. Risky assets come with a very big loss. March 2020 is an example. 2008 October is an example. You can have your equity portfolio crashing by 50% in 1 month, 50%. So a 10-year accumulation can go to zero in 1 month. It has happened. So don't be extraordinarily into equity if you don't need to be. When can equity be a part of your portfolio even if goals don't need equity? Suppose your goal can be achieved without equity. When can it still be a part of your portfolio? Is when you have very, very long-term goals and you want to try out some equity in your portfolio. You have a 25-year goal, very well have equity, no problem. Over a 25-year period of time, equity has demonstrated a better rate of return as compared to debt. Or as Anil sir said, you have some surplus. You have a 50 crore portfolio and you have this 1 crore lying somewhere and you have this desire that कुछ करना है यार, इसके साथ कुछ तूफानी करना है 1 crore के साथ. 50 crore का portfolio है, 1 crore के साथ तूफानी करना है, जो करना है करो. Invest in bitcoins, invest in startup, invest in any of those stocks that Anil sir mentioned in that initial slide. You should know that what percentage of your portfolio are you allocating towards that risky part. If you allocate 50% of your portfolio in something risky, and if it loses 30% value, that's it. आपका 15-20% गया portfolio का. So be smart about how much do you want to allocate. If you still want to have equity, you're like, no, I think I should always have equity. I would always suggest invest regularly. Invest monthly, invest quarterly, invest fortnightly. Don't invest lump sums because lump sum needs little bit of active management. You may not have the time to do that. So not everybody needs equity is a moral of the story. Evaluate whether you need it and only use it as the need be. That's it. Just add it to your portfolio as the need be. Your core may not be equity for everybody. For some of us, core may be equity. It depends upon how our numbers are going to be. What are the factors that you should consider when you are trying to develop various assets in your portfolio? And I'm not talking about equity now. I'm saying any assets you want to add into your portfolio. What are the factors you should always keep in mind? First, cost. How much cost will you pay for that asset? Suppose you want to try a portfolio manager who will manage your money. What is the cost he's going to charge you? Is it 5% per annum? If it is 5% per annum, will his returns justify that 5% per annum? What is the cost of investing in a mutual fund? What is the cost of investing in a insurance plan like ULIP, which Anil sir always recommends against? Same like me. ULIP may have a cost of 20% annualized. Do you really want to pay that much cost? When you have a mutual fund like an index fund that can give you at 0.2% something, do you want to pay 5%? Know your cost. Be responsible. Don't sign on the papers, whatever is shown to you. All of us are educated. Read what it says. Always use somebody's help if you are not aware of how much cost you are paying. Be aware of cost. In developed markets, and we are also going towards that over a period of time, it is demonstrated already that high cost is one of the biggest drag in portfolio returns, high cost. So if you can reduce cost, that's the most controllable thing you can do. Always focus on what you can control. You can control cutting spending. You can control more savings. You can control reducing the cost of investment. You cannot control what market will do. You cannot control political situations. You cannot control what China and India is going to do in the border. What you can control is cost. So always have a grip on what you can control at every given point in time. Liquidity. If your goal is 2 years to be achieved in 2 years, if you want to achieve a goal in 2 years, and you think that you will invest in equity for that, the problem is, and I'm talking about equity as an unlisted equity. You invest in a startup. Mujib spoke about private equity in the earlier session. Now, private equity is not liquid. You can't redeem the money in 2 years. You may not get the money back in 2 years. Same with real estate. Same with a lot of fixed income bonds. You may think bond is awesome, very safe, but you may not be able to sell it at all. So liquidity means, can you sell the asset at its fair value whenever you want? if you will have to give away 20% of your value just to liquidate it, it is not a liquid asset. Like real estate, for example. Real estate is definitely not liquid. But if I'm creating a 25-year goal-based asset, 25-year, and I invest in real estate, over a period of 20 years, it may appreciate so much that maybe even if I sell now, I will be able to make a lot of return. So be very clear about whether liquidity is there for the asset or not. Transparency, something which insurance policies really lack, is transparency. Even a simple rider in a term insurance comes with so many caveats that you get confused. There are so many caveats about what is critical illness in a term insurance. So transparency is very important. If you invest in a product, you should know exactly what is going to be the cost. There should not be any conditions apply or we don't know what will happen. Be very clear about what you are getting into. Read the document. Don't just sign whatever is given to you. Taxation, very important, because India and many of you are in a high tax bracket. 30%, 42% super rich tax. So obviously, if 43% is your tax rate and you earn something and you give away 43%, obviously you probably will have to look at tax planning. Basic things like fixed deposits, tweak and then invest into something like a debt fund may be more tax efficient. Using something like an arbitrage fund could be a more tax efficient logic. So taxation can be planned in a beautiful way. Consider taxation also when you're looking at products. Cannot be your first factor, but definitely has to be a factor that you check when you select your asset class. Most importantly, maintenance. Some asset classes are high maintenance. Stocks. If you have a stock portfolio, that is high maintenance. What I mean by high maintenance is you will have to track it a lot. You have to update yourself a lot about the stocks you're holding. You have to read a lot of news. You have to read financial statements, data, quarterly numbers, management, what they are doing. If you're investing in a mutual fund, you may not be having to track it that much on a daily basis because there are fund managers and research analysts doing it. So maintenance, how much time will you have to track that asset? Do you have that kind of a time? If you don't have that kind of a time, either you outsource it or you pick up asset classes that does not require high maintenance. For example, a simple arbitrage fund will not require anything to be done from your end. It's a simple product, doesn't really go wrong beyond a point, something that will work for you. But if you're going to invest in a credit risk fund, and then you have to keep tracking the portfolio of that credit risk fund, what is the rating profile every month? Have they picked up some risky assets? That is high maintenance. Do you have the time? Do you have the inclination? Do you have the knowledge? You have to ask yourself that. If you don't have that time to maintain the portfolio, don't go for high maintenance products like complex alternative investment funds, structured products, credit risk funds, actively managed mutual funds. That is all high maintenance products for you. Always consider your expectations before you start creating asset allocation. If anybody is going to create an asset allocation saying, I need 15% rate of return, it is not going to be achieved easily. 15% is not something that you can easily achieve sitting back at home. Can you expect 10%? Yes. Can you expect 20%? Highly unlikely. So keep your expectations always in check. What returns you will get from an asset class is not under your control. Be conservative. Expect less. That will force you to invest more. That will force you to save more. That will force you to have more investment every month. All the money will only go to you, right? Whether you want to then enjoy it or leave it to your next generation, you decide. But always have moderate expectation. Don't aim high in terms of returns. Aim high in terms of savings. Aim high in terms of how much you can invest. And then you will be able to create a much more optimum portfolio for the long run. What are the products that you can get into in the Indian context? And I repeat, not everything is for everybody. I'm just giving an exhaustive list of products. I'll quickly just run through it. Most of this will be known to most of you. If not, you can ask me questions at the end. First is equity products. If you want equity, what are the ways in which you can build equity into your portfolio? If you want equity, it may not be for everybody. If you're a businessman and your business is giving you 25% rate of return and your business has capacity expansion possible, All your surplus should ideally go back to your business. The most controllable thing that you can manage is your business. Why do you want to then invest in an equity which will only give you, let's say, 14%, for example, when you have a business of your own that can give you 25%? That is how you have to think about it. And if you're not planning to invest in business because expansion is not possible, then don't go for more risky assets which has a high correlation with your business. Then go for maybe debt to a larger extent, because even if your business goes through a bad phase, your debt portfolio will probably be very intact. So always decide whether you want equity or not. It is not for everybody, I will repeat. Index funds and ETF, no-brainer product. Anil sir speaks about it a lot. I get a lot of question about index funds versus ETF. I have said this before, but I would again reiterate. In India, ETFs are not liquid. We don't have enough liquidity in the secondary market for exchange traded funds. I have been tracking the market closely for long enough to say that you cannot have a big exposure to ETF without liquidity risk. The day when you want to exit from that, if it happens to be a day where volatility is very high, you will not be able to exit at fair value. You may have to give away 8 to 10% of your portfolio value in ETF. Not worth it. Yes, US has a bigger ETF portfolio, but US is 100 years ahead of us. If US is a 100-year-old grandfather, we are a 1-year-old baby. So things that work for US may not work for India. So don't read these magazines and articles which says ETF is the best. Yes, it is the best, but we haven't reached there. What is an alternative, and a beautiful alternative, is index funds. कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, index fund works beautifully, कुछ भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Cost maybe 0.1% extra, that's it. 0.1% extra. I don't think 0.1% is going to cost you per annum much. So my preference is always index funds till ETF becomes very liquid. Are ETFs liquid as of now? Not to my comfort. I would not recommend that to anybody. You want to try it out, do it, but I would always, as an advisor, say be careful about ETFs in India. If you're investing in S&P 500, Anil sir speaks about Gunny, who is in US, and he has access to S&P 500 ETF of Vanguard. Bindas he can invest. Very liquid. One of the biggest products in the world. Indian ETF. We haven't reached there yet. Will we reach there in 10 years? We will see. I hope I will be around and I will see the liquidity at that point in time. Second option is actively managed mutual fund. Actively managed. Mid cap, small cap, multi cap, this, that. There's an entire categories also which is very confusing within that. If you don't know how to select, it's a task. Either outsource or stick to index funds. Don't have a fear of missing out. Index fund आपको अगर 12 देगा, actively managed fund आपको 15 देगा, and अगर आपका गोल के लिए 10 चाहिए, तो 12 is better than 10 ना, 15 के लिए क्यों chase कर रहे हो? If you don't know which funds will be giving you 15, because for every scheme that gives you 15, there could be a scheme which gives you -3 also. Do you know how to select the right schemes? If not, stick to index funds, stick to index funds, stick to index funds. ETFs, I will say, when it becomes liquid. You can go for portfolio management scheme. 50 lakhs is the minimum investment that you require, and you may be aware of many portfolio management schemes out there. I am in no position as far as SEBI guidelines is concerned to recommend any particular name. You must have noted I am not mentioning any single name. I'm not allowed to. Portfolio management schemes has 50 lakhs minimum investment. They take risk. It's a long-term portfolio that they try to create. If you only have 1 crore rupees to invest, do not invest 50% in a PMS. Doesn't make any sense. You're allocating a big chunk of your portfolio into one scheme. You have a 20 crore portfolio for long term. You want to try 50 lakhs of one PMS, please go for it. No problem, because that is not a big part of your portfolio. Which PMS to select? A task in itself. There are multiple parameters within that. I wish I could easily tell you how to go about it. It is not easy. To be very honest, it is not easy. It's not like I don't want to tell you. It's just that it is fairly complicated concept. We have a 1 crore investment fund called AIF. Just for you to know, I'm not recommending that you should go and try it. Alternative investment fund. 1 crore is the minimum investment size. Not for everybody. But again, be very choosy and be very careful. High cost. Most AIF charges you 3 to 4% per annum. So the cost is high. Liquidity will not be there. Most AIF has a lock-in. You may not be able to create liquidity when you need it. So you have to be very careful about some of these things from liquidity point of view also. Direct stocks. Many of us like to invest in direct stocks. If you have the knowledge, awesome. Please go ahead. It's your money. You can pick up stocks and manage your portfolio. If you don't have the knowledge, if you don't know how to pick up the right stocks, I would not advise this at all. Advantage of direct stocks, low cost. We have brokerage firms that doesn't charge you any brokerage. Highly liquid. If you pick up large cap stocks, liquidity is very, very high. That will not be a problem. Maintenance, very high maintenance. Any stock can turn bad. Nobody expected 5-8 years back that an entrepreneur called Kishore Biyani will go through trouble at this particular point in time. Nobody thought 5-8 years back that one of the sons of Mukesh, one of the sons of Dhirubhai Ambani will have a problem. Things change. Do you have the bandwidth, time, knowledge to track all your stocks properly? Even if you're creating a stock portfolio, please understand, keep the stocks to controllable levels, to sectors you understand, to businesses you understand. Don't try to be a rock star here unless it's a small part of your portfolio. You want to invest 10 lakhs, try out. Your overall portfolio is 20 crores. For all means, do it. Worst case, 10 lakh becomes zero. But if 10 lakh becomes 15 lakhs in 1 year, please don't be overconfident. Please don't say that I am the best fund manager here. Why do I need mutual funds? It could be a fluke. In a bull market, 10 lakhs can become 15 lakhs in 1 year. Please don't sell all your FD and become a 1 crore portfolio manager for yourself. The next year could be a minus 50% year, and suddenly you will have a problem. 17 years in the equity markets have told me markets can humble anybody. It teaches humility. It teaches you to be very, very humble and say market is always right. So be very careful about some of these equity exposures. If you are a do-it-yourself kind of an investor, you don't want to take any external help, please, I would suggest stick to index funds. Maybe actively manage mutual funds if you want a little bit of additional variety. Don't go for PMS, AIF and stocks if you're do-it-yourself kind of an investor. Fixed income products that you can try. PPF, very tax efficient, decent rate of return, still gives you something like 7.5%, 8%, which is wonderful. Has liquidity problem. It is not easy to liquidate money, obviously, from PPF. Has limitations on how much you can invest in PPF. So as I said, there are various features you have to look at it. But it would be a decent starting point for everybody to start in PPF. If you're an employed person, you already have an employee provident fund, which is pretty much the same thing to a large extent. So you can obviously have that. If not, you can add PPF as a starting point. Government and corporate bonds are an option these days. There are a lot of brokerage platforms like Zerodha, where you can directly go and buy government bonds or corporate bonds that are available. Highly illiquid. Highly illiquid. You may not get a single quote on a day. An entire day will go without you getting a single price for the bond. Highly illiquid. So be very, very careful if you are buying direct government bonds or direct corporate bonds or PSU bonds, etc.
Class, sir, with your permission, next Sunday, I've decided a topic. Of course, I need sir's help. We'll be talking about debt funds and fixed income products. But this was absolutely important for you all to note that, we always say that corporate bonds are good, government bonds are good, debt funds are an alternative to FDs. So next Sunday, we will demystify that complete myth that debt funds also have risk, right? And how can you take care of risk? And I can't think of anybody better than Harish sir to talk about it, right? So next Sunday's session plan, you can note it down so you can keep your questions ready, right? We are going to talk a lot on fixed income products. Sir, back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Within mutual funds, we have something called arbitrage funds. We can talk about it in the next Sunday session in detail. It uses equity market, but to create risk-free return. Arbitrage means risk-free rate of return. Not suitable if you're investing for 2-3 months. Very ideal if you're investing for more than, let's say, 4 to 6 months or above. Because especially if you hold it for 1 year, you will get a equity tax benefit on this, which is a very interesting tax proposition for you. You have other debt mutual funds. You have an entire plethora of them, which as Anil sir rightly just now announced, we will discuss about that in the next session. There is also something called derivatives and FX, which I get a lot of questions from my clients as well as in general, a lot of audiences I meet. Amazing product, but not for all. I don't think it's a product that you can do it yourself unless you have the right knowledge. If you have the right knowledge, beautifully you can use derivatives and FX to add a different level of value to the portfolio. So all my money that I manage, yes, we use a lot of derivatives and I'm very proud about using it in a big way. But as I said, be very careful if you're not aware of the way it works. Without knowledge, everything is risky. Without knowledge, even a car is risky, right? I mean, if I just allow somebody to drive a car and that person doesn't know how to drive a car, very risky, very, very risky. So knowledge is the key. Suppose you are here and say, you know what can I do? What can I simply do based on myself? First slide, financial assets, liabilities, how much can you save, goals. These are things that you should do. Even if you outsource it to an advisor, the advisor will also ask you about all these things. Suppose you want to just create your own asset allocation, stick to basics, equity ETFs, index funds, as in when I say ETF, I'm talking about index funds. There are debt ETFs also available. Anil sir mentioned about the Edelweiss Bharat Bond ETF, which is available for 3 years and 10 years bucket. Very cost efficient, hardly any cost, almost close to zero, decent rate of return and fair amount of liquidity, better than actually going and purchasing a actual bond or debenture. Tweak the existing assets. You can easily do it yourself by convincing your family members or parents. FDs have better opportunities in the form of debt funds and arbitrage funds. A lot of people have FD just because it is convenient. But there are convenience in the form of other funds also, more tax efficient and better rate of returns you can achieve. Easily you can do it. You don't need any expert advice for some of these things. Review your existing MFs. Keep reviewing your existing mutual funds that you invested into. Yes, you have an advisor. The advisor told you these are the schemes you should invest in. You invested 6 years back. You got busy. Nobody tracked it. You did not track it. The advisor did not track it. And I'm not talking about Anil sir here. I'm in general talking about everybody and a lot of people who do go through it. Just keep reviewing existing MF. In 2 to 3 years, if your MF is not generating a rate of return which is better than the market, respective benchmark as we call it, you are smart enough to take a decision right there that the fund is not doing well. There are enough funds out there you can replace it with. Please don't try to justify that, nahi, abhi next 3 years mein acha karega. Don't have to do that. There are many other funds who can actually do better than the fund you're holding. Review it. And whenever you're reviewing, don't do a rookie mistake of selling profitable schemes. Always sell underperforming scheme first. I have seen this tendency with a lot of people that they don't want to book loss. They don't want to kind of book their loss. I have clients who will say, I invested 50 lakhs in mutual funds. Current value is 47 lakhs. So 3 lakhs is unrealized loss. I will say 3 lakhs is loss. Bhul jao. I mean, aaj se hum log 47 lakhs ki baat karenge. Because it's not necessary that the scheme will be able to recover 3 lakhs. There may be other schemes that can recover 3 lakhs better. So book losses. You can do what is called tax harvesting out of that. The same loss that you book here may offset some of the other capital gains you may have. I'll talk about tax harvesting in the next session. Anil sir is the best person to talk about it. So always sell underperforming schemes or stocks. Never start with booking profits. Always start by booking losses. Unrealized loss and realized loss is the same thing. Please understand, it is only in your mind which plays a game that abhi tak maine loss book nahi kiya. Arey ho gaya. Loss ho gaya. Abhi book karo nahi karo is not the point here. So always do this. Don't do a rookie mistake. And if you're doing it yourself, if you don't know about markets very well, build a asset class portfolio. Invest a part in gold, invest a part in equity, invest a part in debt. Have a 3 or 4 different type of asset classes and keep rebalancing it every time. Every year, take out 1 day. If equity has gone a lot, sell equity, buy debt, rebalance. You don't need a lot of brains for this simple no-brainer approach. Rebalance equal proportion into various asset classes. For long-term goals, which are 10 years plus, once a year you can review it, no problem. For short-term and medium-term goals, you may have to review it quarterly or semi-annually just to see whether you are going on track. It's like, you're going on a long drive. Because you're going on a long drive, you started from Mumbai, you are probably going to Kanyakumari in your car. You put the address, you put the destination in your GPS. You don't have to keep looking at your GPS every 30 seconds, right? If you're going to Kanyakumari, because you know that Mumbai se Nasik ka to rasta mujhe pata hai, right? I don't have to look at GPS for that. So I will look at GPS maybe after every 100 kilometer stretch I have reached. Same way, goals also, you have to be smart about when to review it. Don't watch your portfolio every day and don't ignore your portfolio for 10 years also. There are two extremes that people usually go into. Many update their portfolio on money control and every day watch it, every day. Bad habit, very bad habit, because your goals are not a daily thing. So quarterly, semi-annually, annually rebalancing is good. Sit with your family for this, because I will make that point again in a later slide.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So, no, okay. You could go to the next slide, sir. Just, can I summarize till now? You can just have a look at your WhatsApp, sir, with your permission. So, Harish sir's very important summary, which will come up from me. Abhishek, superb suggestion. I'll put it up on all the social medias, this thing. If you're happy with lower returns and you can still achieve your goal, so this is Harish sir for you. Then avoid equity, especially if you believe you can't take risk appetites. Equity is okay for long-term goals, and if you are okay with volatility, it is okay if you have 1 crore extra and you are willing to speculate. Okay, it is not for people with poor risk appetites. Invest regularly and evaluate if you need it. Please note, very important line coming from a very senior financial wellness expert. Core need not be equity for everybody. And nobody else can say it. Financial wellness is about core need not be equity for everybody. So if you're not able to take negative returns, better avoid is a very important thing, right? Cost of ULIPs, we have been saying that on this channel many, many times. You can please ask my kid, Varun Gupta. He went to one particular website and tried to buy insurance, and they were selling him ULIPs. They were selling him ULIPs. But now kids have also become smart. Varun Gupta, Delhi. Right, I'll correct you. You can ask him which platform, I can't say. It's so sad. And so 3 calls I kept going. They are pushing ULIPs. 20% is annualized returns, right? Better is index funds. Read terms and conditions. Very good point. Reduce costs so that you get higher net returns. I still remember Harish sir actually telling me, sir, kya kar raha hai? Why not direct online plans? And we were sitting in a restaurant and we were evaluating investment in another company. And he said, sir, direct plans, index funds is direct plans. 5-6 years back, and I still remember that. When you invest, look at costs, liquidity, transparency, taxation, maintenance, very important. If you have to track a lot, it doesn't make sense, right? Very important slide. Yes, this is the slide. Look at your CAGR. You expect a loss. It's always have to have moderate expectations. Then you will invest more, right? Aim high, super lines, sir, from you today, super lines. Aim high in terms of savings and not in terms of returns. So aim high in terms of savings. And let me also humbly add the time in the markets. Again, Harish sir has really taught me these things, and not in terms of returns. If your business is going up, all FMBIs, please note, if your business is going very well and you're getting 25% returns and it is scalable, then you should consider reinvesting in your own business and not in other equities. Super line from a financial wellness planner, right? Then don't consider other equities. But if your business has stagnated and if you want Mukesh Bhai to work for you, then possibly you can consider investing in other equities, right? In India, repeated, I had to call him once in that Telegram channel. Yes, sir, I agree. 90% of the discussions are loans, but very soon it will change because we have started a mission of stronger balance sheets. I'm going to keep pushing. Gunny is going to do it, sir. You're going to do it. So we'll have to get these kids to now align to stronger balance sheets. And that's our responsibility as their elders. So we taught them loans, they're applying it. Now we have to get them to stronger balance sheets. The mission has already started today, right? Stronger personal balance sheets, stronger corporate balance sheets, right? India, when you talk about personal balance sheets, avoid ETFs. Avoid ETFs because it is very, very illiquid. Yes, Gunny can invest in ETF in US because they are 100 years ahead. My son liked this dialogue of yours. US is a 100-year grandfather, while India is a 1-year-old child. The young boy is still smiling. He liked it, right? I'm so happy with that line. I've recorded that here. Index funds are costlier by 0.1%. Why are you worried about 0.1% is what the financial wellness planner is asking. Why bother? Liquidity is key. PMS depends on your investment amount. A lot of people have come to me saying, should we consider portfolio management services? From this channel, we are telling you all that do not consider it if you have a small amount to invest. If you have a big amount to invest, then you may please consider, but please don't ask me who is a very, very good portfolio manager. There's no particular answer for that. Some of them do well, some of them don't do well, because it is equity in what they give. AIF, very good point. I think most FMBIs can consider that given your net worth, right? Alternate investment funds, 1 crore and above, you can consider that. Direct stocks, if you have the knowledge, do it. If you don't have, then I would suggest stick to index funds. I've been saying that. Anil Ambani was mentioned. Nobody realized that Anil Ambani can go broke, right, 10, 15 years back. I agree, sir. Nobody could realize that. But I'm also proud of Anil Ambani because he's one of the few Indians who have actually put the Chinese on the back foot. So I'm so proud of Anil Ambani. For a change, I'm praising him because there are 3 Chinese banks that he has borrowed from, and now they are chasing him for returns. I love you, Anil Ambani. God bless you. Right? Stick to basics. Understand investments. In a bull market, everything goes up, and then you suddenly feel you are the next Harshad Mehta. Your wife sees a difference in your way of talking, and the confidence goes up because it's a bull market. You still, right? That's just gas going into you, and the balloon is going up. And one fine day, the balloon bursts, and you come down. Market teaches you humility, and it is always right, right? Do it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, stick to index funds. Maybe a bit of active funds if you can do returns. My favorite, PPF and corporate bonds, good option, but there's very little liquidity. That's why I said, मेरे को सर को बुलाना है next time. वापस fixed income में करना है. A lot of people believe fixed income is same as fixed deposits, and then suddenly they came back. They say, sir, इसमें risk है ना? अरे बाबा, arbitrage funds में भी risk है. कौन है बच्चा? मैं भूल गया. Arbitrage funds में भी risk है. That is why sir says that beautifully. If you're ready for arbitrage funds, you will get risk-free returns and you will be taxed as equity, but your horizon should be more than 6 months. If you're going to get arbitrage fund for 2 months, forget arbitrage funds. Then you need some other product. Derivatives a risky bet, but with proper knowledge, you can get higher returns. Hari sir is extremely good in derivatives, but I have told him, sir, we will not do it in this platform because you may end up inspiring somebody else to do something else. And then they'll remember Menon Mantras in a wrong way. We will not do it on this platform. You need experts for that. Hari sir does it for the biggest hedge fund, which Gani knows. He does it for RCCM and DE Shaw, an American debt fund, one of the biggest in the world. Hari sir does it here. He will not do it in this platform for family managed businesses and students. I'm sorry, Nareshji, I care for you. You work very hard, right? And for me to even explain derivatives, if I inspire even one of you all to get into derivatives and you lose out, I'll feel bad. Leave it to the expert. Leave it to the experts is all I will say. Just leave derivatives to the experts. FDs are most convenient, but less tax effective. Most convenient for you, and banks love it, all of you all, because you give them such very good savings product. But don't save, invest. Don't save, but invest. Extremely important when you sell. Most people, they try to avoid booking losses. Love you, sir, for that line. Stop loss is very important. Sell underperforming asset first. Take the hit. Now, you made a mistake. So what? We all make mistakes in life. But normally what we do is we always keep praying. Now this will come back. This will come back. And that day will never come. If it is an underperforming asset, ask me. I've taken a hit myself. I'm not going to tell you when and how. I've taken a hit myself. So that's why I started laughing when my colleague said, right, you didn't review. The fact is I didn't review. Why I didn't review? Because I was busy in something which was not my core competency. We'll come back to that later. Review periodically, but not very soon. That was a good sarcasm. He doesn't laugh when he gives jokes. That's a problem with Harish sir. He said about money mantras. People are ऐसा देखते हैं क्या हुआ है? ऐसा एक दिन में डबल होगा पैसा तो बस मैं भी पढ़ाना छोड़ दूँ ना money mantras क्या अपना money है right? क्या रे वो moneycontrol.com में मैं invest करके देखूँ ना कभी ऊपर जाता है. But then don't sleep on it also. Right, so don't sleep on it for 10 years. That was, I believe, hinted towards me. I'm not sure. I'll talk to you after the class, sir. Right? Can I have your next slide, sir? Because you wanted to show something, right? Do you want to show it, or can I show it to my kids?
Which one?
XIRR. They have asked for XIRR on the Telegram group.
No. So you will only show it. I have a lot of things otherwise, so we'll discuss that next time. So I'll
Absolutely.
be stopping my screen, and you can show them that IRR thing.
Harissa, is that summary good for the class? Because I want to put it up
Perfect.
on, right?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
So this will come
So
as a summary. Next time we will continue this discussion. We will talk about fixed tool. But sir, I need to respect my audience.
yes, sir. So
Hardly
as I said,
anybody
as
has
a
moved. Hardly anybody
second
has
part,
moved. Can I take some questions, please? If you can answer it straight away, we will answer it straight away. If it is not, then we will plan it for next time. Can I have some questions? Colleagues, you can chat. And colleagues, don't go. I need to show you XIRR. And don't worry, I'm not going to appeal for collective hunger. So don't leave, please. Okay. Any questions? Sir, you have been really good. Abhishek and all have become big fans of finance. Thanks to you all. So these were kids I've taught, but now they get inspired like anything. Any questions? Or can I show you all what command which you have been asking for XIRR? Okay. Let me just check. No. Okay. So I'll show you all XIRR, right? Today's summary will go on Menon Mantras, right? We will continue this session, but the session is not over. I'll try and show you one very important command. I'm just taking 1 hour of your time, plus some questions. Khatam, but kitna farak pad raha hai yaar? I'm so delighted to be among you all. Right? Yeah, I'm sleeping less, but I feel good actually. At the end of it, I'm feeling more energized. So some of you are worried about my health. I'm okay, sir. I'm completely fine. If I really get stressed out or burnt out, as Deepak ji says, I will stop. I will myself come and tell my students ki abhi kam interaction karunga, but I'm completely fine now. So here we are. I'm going to share screen. Ankur Shah has already put it. Can I have some chat for my guest speaker, please? I'm your teacher, so it's my duty, but they have come for you. So when I go on to Excel, can you please, Gani as always, Hari sir, this is for you. This is for you, sir. All your summaries, don't comment. And excuse me, this is an ongoing journey. Please don't. Please put your comments for my Vinod sir. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go on Excel. Hari sir, you can see the chat. My kids will, they are very, very good. They'll keep writing things. So this is where we were on IRR. All of you should know all these things. Hari sir, you keep an eye on the chat, please. I will now quickly get on to IRR is internal rate of return. Love you all. IRR is internal rate of return. Very, very useful. But suppose you have different dates. Very good question on the Menon Mantra page. Suppose you have different dates. And by the way, I committed, but Harish sir also reminded me we have to do it. You have different dates. I'm sorry. Then IRR fails. Then XIRR is the root. X stands for date. X stands for date. And believe me, it's very simple. Excuse me, I just started. I see couple of you all have left. Nahi hua hai bache, main thing aa raha hai abhi. Main thing nahi. One of the important things is also coming. Harish sir also was important. Ek do bache, just I can notice. Mat karo bete, important hai. 5 minute lunga. 5 minutes and we are finishing. XR is the important thing. You might be wondering why I'm pleading. Just that I want to pass on this knowledge. Date. Cash flows. Everything is simple. Just pay attention. Date, cash flows. IRR works if you do all investments on a particular date. 1st Jan, 1st Feb, 1st March. What if first investment is in 1st Jan? Second is on 15th of Feb, 2020. Different dates. If it is different dates, then you have to look at XIRR. X stands for date. Please watch the command. Very simple. Date command. Love you all. Keep asking. I'll keep. If I know, I'll share. If I don't know, I'll learn and come and share. Date 2017. Sri Krishna Aram. 2017. March. 18th of March. Come. Learn something. Harish sir, moment I start speaking, the boy gets up. When there's a guest speaker, he comes and sits. I don't know what is it, sir. You guys, right? Is something. He's smiling. See, he's smiling. This is the problem. So we'll put a date command here. Krishna sun. Jokes apart, sun. Both काम का चीज है. Date. This one. Simple. Okay. One more time. Date. Okay. कभी किया गनी आपने investment? Menon साहब 2018. When? Which month? Gani? Sir, I did it right. Okay, 5th month. Okay. May में किया था. कभी किया? 22nd. Okay, sir. Done. Acha, then what happened, Gani? Sir, I got some dividends. Acha, when did you get that dividend? 2019. Okay. Which month did you get that dividend? Sir, I remember I got it in, if I'm not wrong, I got it right in this month. Okay, very good. Which date? Yeah, I'll just check with my wife. I think it was 18. Very good. I confess, ladies are much better in financial management. In my case also, I know everything, but the diligence with which my wife focuses on task, I invite families to sit for these sessions. Then what happened, Gani? Menon sir, one more thing happened. I realized I got an interim dividend also that year. Oh, achha. When do you get it? Do you remember? I'll just check out. I think I got it in December month. When? I got it on the 19th. Okay, very good. Okay. Then what happened? Then Menon sir had enough. I sold this. I said enough of this. I sold a stock. My son wanted to go for higher education. So I sold it. When did you sell it? I sold it in, if I remember correctly, Menon sir, I sold it in April. Okay. Very good. You sold it in April. When? I remember the date correctly. It was 16th. Okay. Very good. Finish. Give me exact dates. IRR does not work. If you want IRR to work, it should be 18th March, right? 2017, 18th March, 2018. Everything should be same. This should be same. But that doesn't happen like that, no? That's why XIRR. But why are we getting so worried, worked up about XIRR? कुछ नहीं है रे. Date function डाला बच्चे. बहुत simple है सब चीज. Date function डाला. Equal to date. सब लोग कर सकते हैं. Now, how much did you invest? Man, sir, I remember I had invested 150 rupees. Okay. $150. ठीक ना, आपका जो है, you please do it. We teach in Singapore also. We teach in Dubai also. For me, it is units. Dirhams क्या, Singapore dollars क्या, US dollar क्या. It is concept यार. Or rupees क्या. Simple. How much did you get as the first dividend? I believe I had got 40 units. Then how much did you get? Next year, the company did very, very well. So I got 55. And so well that they also gave me an interim dividend of 10 units. Then what price did you sell this, Gani? Do you remember? I sold it, if I remember correctly, sir, I sold it at 325. This is cash flows. This is dates. Come here, say XIRR. Love you all. It's all over. क्या है क्या finance equal to XIRR? Finish. Values. Comma, dates. Yes is in square brackets. Square brackets with optional command. If you're doing big sheets like we investment bankers do, then we use the guess function. In fact, nowadays we also don't use guess function because Excel has become so very good. But in case you want to speed up the process, then you can use the guess function. Most of us don't need to use it. Anything in square brackets is optional. End of the matter. Ganesh, you are a rock star, my son. You know how much returns you made on this? Wow, what a selection of a stock. Fantastic. XIRR. Kitna time laga? Huh? Kitna time laga? Simple.
So this is per annum. Just to clarify for the batch.
Sir, you should. I love you.
We both obviously know, but many may not. They may think it is absolute 47%.
If you use IRR, what happens? Hari sir, please speak, sir. Excuse me, if you use IRR, suppose you use IRR, what happens? IRR does not take into account dates. That's why in such cases, if you have different dates.
So is it right to say, sir, that IRR is assuming all these cash flows are like annual?
Thank you, sir. IRR does not work on different dates. So आपने टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में लिखा था, मैं बोला आज ही एक्सप्लेन करके बंद करता हूँ, है क्या इसमें? It works with different dates. One more Menon mantra, simple. And in life, actually, we need to use. In an illustration, we can show IRR. So, a insurance company, in mutual fund, ये लोग सब illustration में बताता है. They show you what is, as respected sir said, It shows you the returns per year. Illustration, assuming everything happens on the same date, but doesn't happen like that, no? In this case, I just took a dear colleague's name and kept saying, this is what dear Gunny did. Give me the dates, give me the cash flows, and the value, simple. And can I show it to you how simple it was? Kitna time liya maine? It's financial literacy. Kitna time liya maine? Ye liya, bas. That's it. वापस से दिखा दो इधर. Equal to X IRR. बेटे सीखो, सब लोग सीखो, सिखाओ. That's it. Finish. If you are a very senior person, get your son to do it. Get your employee to do it. Get your daughter to do it. But it's very simple. Excel is one of the easiest.
So may I add something, sir?
Sir, all yours, sir, please.
So this is in the do-it-yourself thing, a wonderful thing which you can use to evaluate all your insurance policies. So if you think your insurance policy is wonderful, you may be sometimes surprised to know you're only getting 3% per annum, 2.5% per annum. So just put all the premium payments as negative cash flow, and whatever maturity benefit you will get, you show with the date like Menon sir has showed here, and you will be easily able to know what is the rate of return you're getting. You don't need to actually be a finance guru for that.
I'll show it to you next time. Harish sir very politely is bajawing you all. I will really bajaw you all next time by showing you an actual case. Bas, प्यार से मैं मारूंगा.
And
Love you all.
Just
So,
to
yes.
answer Sangeeta ji's question,
Yeah, we'll take questions. Any question on
XIRR
XIRR?
is, yeah, so she's asking which one works better for calculating SIP returns, XIRR or IRR?
So go ahead, sir, please. Sangeeta Iyer is our student. My God, how could? Sir, go ahead, sir.
So Sangeeta ji, we can better use XIRR because that will be more accurate with all the dates, and it will be able to annualize your returns properly. XIRR is always better than IRR in multiple ways. IRR is good if you are just doing a back of the envelope type of calculation for annual cash flows. Otherwise, XIRR I think is good enough.
With
What do you think, Anil
Harish
sir?
sir's permission and for Sangeeta ma'am, I'd like to tell you, IRR works very well for illustrations. In real life, as Harish sir is repeatedly saying, XIRR is the way to go. Amolji, 100% will take ULIP as an example for IRR. Definitely will do it. And we'll take one of the popular ones. Done. I thank you so much. I'm not a student. I came across this webinar online. Thank you, ma'am, for joining. I normally don't market much. I'm very bad at that, but I'm happy I don't market. I don't like this, right? But thank you very much for joining, right, Miss? Thank you very, very much. Please do keep coming. We do this every Sunday on personal finance. I want more and more families to be involved because you need to understand that if you have taken a G1 dash, you're getting 4% returns. If you've taken a max dash, you may be ending only 3% returns. Any other questions, dear colleagues? Please go ahead. Right, Harish sir is here. We are coming back together again next time. Right, tomorrow is Shekhar Joshi sir, no doubt about it. But any more questions, please? Harish sir, can you just take it till I share the screen, please? Any other questions, please? I have just 2 more slides to show them, and then I'm done.
I've stopped my screen.
No. Any questions, sir?
No, I don't see any question. I answered some in the Q&A.
So my last request to all of you all before we stop is don't be stuck in this. Humble request, you are the guys with money, right? This is an amazing guy, Abhishek Agarwal. I stop with an appeal to all of you all. Please be careful. It's your hard-earned money. Don't chase something which is wild. You may get caught. With that, I stop today's class. Right, we are discussing on Telegram Menon Mantras. We realized that there is a requirement of XIRR from Menon Mantras. Today itself, I've shown it to you all, and believe me, it's simple, absolutely simple. Yes, next time when I come, I'll show you retirement planning along with Harish sir, and that's our contact details. This, I think, right, all of you know. I'm very happy that the Telegram has picked up, and that we need to now get on to building stronger balance sheets. I stop with this. Dear colleagues, thank you very, very much. God bless.
Thank you, sir. See you.
Thank you. Harish sir, thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, don't leave when kids are thanking you. It's important for me that they thank you because
I'm here,
Thank you. Monday, tomorrow, corporate finance, stronger balance sheet. Shekhar Joshi sir is coming. Prerit Bete, love you. Yogesh from Pune, love you. Shekhar Joshi sir is coming tomorrow. Please come. Right, learn something. 7:30. We are only asking for 1 hour, 10 minutes maximum. But in case questions come, it may get extended. But believe me, it will be great learning. right? Sir, Vinayak has become a big fan of yours. He's saying thank you very much, Harish sir. Right, Hirenji, love you, Hirenji, OMP
Thank you to
participant.
all.
Right.
Thank you, Vinayak. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. With this, I stop. Thank you, Arpit. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please apply XIRR. Come back if you have doubts next time. XIRR with dates. Okay, XIRR with dates. Wow, sir, look at Govind. Sessions like this will definitely increase the IRR of this series. Govind, lovely. I'll stop with this. Thank you. This was an amazing line to end this session. Thank you very, very much. God bless. Antoji, thank you very, very much. God bless you also. I like the fact that you changed Men and Mantras to Hunger Collective. Thank you, Platinum, for giving me this Zoom to conduct this workshop. Thank you, Harish sir. Thank you, participants, for your time. God bless all of you all. See you tomorrow at 7:30. Harish sir will be back again on Sunday. We will continue this session, right? And we'll move into fixed income products. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice week.
Thank you, sir.